Can we use force on somebody who's being civilly committed in California? Hey guys, my name is Anthony Bandiero. I'm an attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat. This question comes from an officer in California. They call these 5150s. These are like civil commitments. In Florida, it's the Baker Act. Nevada, it's a Legal 2000. Alaska, it's like Chapter 47. Now he's bringing up some cases, specifically Scott versus Smith. And he's basically saying, hey, can we use force in order to get these 5150s into custody? Because it seems that the word on the street is that we cannot use any more force when the person's just going to be civilly committed. No, that's not what the case held in the Scott case. Scott involved officers allegedly, I don't think they were, but officers allegedly using deadly force to try to get a person who was having a mental crisis into civil custody. The guy ended up dying. The court said that you can't use deadly force on a person who is just going to be civilly committed. Of course, I think we all know that. You got a person, hey, I'm going to commit suicide. I'll do it for you. Boom, right? No, of course not. We don't use deadly force on a person who needs medical assistance. That's like saying somebody's having a heart attack and like, hey, let me make the trip a little faster, and you shoot them. That's ridiculous. Of course we don't. Now, whether or not it's deadly force is up for debate like they had in Scott. But that case did not stand for the proposition that we cannot use any force to get a person into civil custody. I think that a good case that is, it's not a high-level case, it's a lower-level case, but it's Sommer versus Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. It's a case out of District Court of Nevada, April 22nd, 2025. But I just took a little snippet out of there because they did discuss using force on people that are going through a mental crisis. They said defendants present evidence that the force applied was not greater than what was reasonable under the circumstances. Defendants here being the police officers. There was no underlying crime at issue in this case, but the officers had a reasonable belief that Mr. Sommer posed a threat to his own safety. That's what a civil commitment is usually, right? Mr. Sommer was exhibiting erratic and odd behavior by dislodging a toilet from the floor and scooping water into his mouth. You can only imagine. While flaying and pounding his arms and making loud guttural moans and screams. So, at the end of the day, they found that the use of force under Graham versus Connor was reasonable. Okay? So they didn't say, oh, whoa, this is an easy case for us because, Scott, which is mentioned in this case, Scott says you can't use any force. That's not what Scott said. Scott says you can't use deadly force. All right? Okay. If you like what we're doing here, like, subscribe, share with your friends. It does help us out. You don't have to do it, but it does help us out. But one thing I would like you to do is check out our free webinars every week at bluetogold.com. We do them for you guys. They're free. They're fun. Hundreds of cops attend live. But even if you can't attend live, why don't you just sign up anyway, and we'll send you a link so you can watch it at your own leisure. Popping the popcorn, drinking the champagne while you're watching one of our amazing instructors at Blue to Gold. Okay? Okay. Until next time, my friends, you stay safe and you make good case law.